We have some breaking news that changes everything for the Los Angeles Lakers as Shams has just dropped a shocking report surrounding LeBron James. And folks, no one saw this coming. You're going to want to stay tuned for that update as well as a few other things. Folks, the beginning of the regular season just entirely flipped on its head for this Los Angeles Lakers team. But before we get into all that, if you're a part of the percentage or aren't subscribed to the channel, over 50% of you who are watching right now aren't subscribed. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys again for your continued support over here. Hunter, this is not the video either of us wanted to be making right now. Came out of nowhere. Now, if you've been following along the channel and following on Twitter pretty closely, maybe you could have guessed that LeBron was, dealing with some sort of ailment. But Hunter, you can see right here, Lakers star LeBron James is sidelined for at least 3 to 4 weeks, so a month minimum, due to an injury to his right side. He is out for the start of the 2025-2026 season. He's missing his first, opening night, if you want to call it that. Hunter, people were speculating that he was dealing with some sort of injury. There's been comments lately about DeAndre Ayton not working out with LeBron. This is probably why. He is now going to be out for a bit, and it truly does change everything for the start of this season. This Lakers team needs to get off to a hot start. They have a ton of new pieces, a ton of pre-existing pieces. What are your thoughts on this injury? And we will dive into what the injury is for those curious, but unfortunate here.
Yeah, just like your voice, Nick, LeBron's gonna be gone for the start of the season, and so I get that digging, but this is bad, guys. This is not ideal for the Lakers. We had heard that LeBron was not really participating in training camp. We figured it was just because he was taking his days off and getting those veteran rest that he needs. And look, no one knows LeBron's body better than LeBron does. The guy has been the definition of longevity. Of course, no one has played this well for this long in the history of the NBA like LeBron has. But not having him to start off the year, especially like you said, Nick, this is a very crucial time where guys are developing chemistry. They're trying to figure out how all these pieces fit. Like Rob Pelinka said, when they traded for Luka Doncic last season, it was like they were trying to put a plane together while it was still in the air. And they're not going to have one of their key stars here in LeBron James for probably the month of October and perhaps heading into November here as well. It's going to be a lot of pressure on Luka, a lot of pressure on Austin Reaves. And something we'll probably dive into a little bit here in this video, Nick, is who's going to replace LeBron? Where are those minutes going to come from? Who's going to be in this starting lineup that will be without LeBron for at least about 3 to 4 weeks here?
Yeah, and keep in mind, at least as of now, it's 3 to 4 weeks from, I guess, now. The season starts in about 2.5-ish weeks. So missing at least the first couple of weeks of the season, it might be longer, and it could be longer. Now, the injury, a sciatica, I think it's pronounced, for those unfamiliar, here is a definition of it. And it's basically a pain that radiates along that nerve from the lower back through, basically his back, some sort of nerve injury for those curious. And the good news is this shouldn't be something that will require surgery. It's basically just he needs to rest, right? And he needs to take his time, which is a good thing, right? Obviously, at least as of right now, it's not something crazy serious. However, Hunter, and I don't need to show everybody LeBron's stats here, he is extremely durable. One of the most, he is the most durable player of all time here. For him to miss this, it must mean he's in pretty big discomfort. And he came out on the Mind the Game podcast recently with Steve Nash and was talking about how, at this point, the regular season doesn't mean as much to him. It's more about being ready for the playoffs. He was probably doing some foreshadowing there too. The fact that he's going to miss his an opening night, which is a little bit crazy. You can look here. He's missing his first opening night ever. And you can look at all of his stats, putting aside the historic, factor of this. He's needed on this team. As much as we talk about how, he might be retiring soon, all these different things, they need his 25 points a game to play alongside Luka. Yes, he's 41 years old, but they need him. And for him to be out to the start of the season, even if it's for 2 weeks minimum, that's a pretty big blow here and changes the way that I'm sure, the team is going to be scheming their guys. However, like we'll dive into in a second, it does open up some opportunities for guys to step up and get bigger roles here, which will be pretty crucial.
And you can maybe argue, Nick, during his time here with the Lakers, was LeBron always the best player, right? Like, was it Anthony Davis? Was it Luka? The one thing you can't deny is LeBron's always been the leader of this team. Yep. He has always been the voice and the vocal leader, and the engine has always gone through LeBron James, right? The guy is one of the smartest basketball players of all time. He's one of the best leaders of all time. That's going to be a lot of pressure on Luka Doncic now to be that guy. Now, granted, this is what he wanted, right? They traded for Luka Doncic to become the face and the voice of this franchise, and now he's going to get that opportunity very early on here without LeBron James. They're talking a lot about Marcus Smart today and the vocal presence he can bring as well. Again, might be more pressure here on Austin, too, to be that guy. Now, he's going to be the clear number 2 option for the Los Angeles Lakers and ball handler. There probably won't be a whole lot of time on the court where either Luka or Austin are off the floor. At least one of them is probably now going to be on the floor at all times as your primary playmakers. And again, it's going to put more pressure on Marcus Smart, who's also nursing an injury right now, to be ready for the start of the season to take on more of that playmaking responsibility. So not having LeBron, obviously, it makes you a much less athletic team as well. And yes, we talk about the age. He's going to be 41 years old. But LeBron James was sixth in MVP votes last year. Second team All NBA, was player of the month in the month of February, where the Lakers traded away Anthony Davis for Luka and changed their entire trajectory of the season. That just shows you how good LeBron James still is. We're comparing him to what he was in his peak days, but just looking at him now objectively, he's one of the 10 to 15 best basketball players in the entire world, and not having him on your team, it's the start of the season, is going to be pretty rough, especially when, the Lakers are going to have a lot of tough games to start off the season.
Yeah, and last year even though at 40, he played pretty good defensively. Obviously had his lapses, but there was points where JJ Redick publicly praised him for how good his defense was. And let's dive into the depth chart now, what this looks like going forward. So let's assume, and he is going to miss opening night. It makes their decision a bit easier. Now, I would assume Marcus Smart gets in there and they shift some guys down. But at the end of the day, this is going to mean an elevated role for specifically Marcus Smart. He's going to be the guy who, at least in my eyes, slides right into the starting lineup there. And then guys like Jake LaRavia are going to have to step up. He's had a pretty good camp so far. What do you see the starting lineup looking like for me? I mean, probably Doncic, Reaves, Smart, Rui, Ayton, a bit small there, 1 through 3. And defensively, obviously, Smart will help that. But do you have another view on that? Again, with LeBron gone, it mixes up a lot of things. But something else that this does, which I actually dislike, obviously, I don't want the injury to happen. They're already, at least in my eyes, fairly limited offensive upside, part of the bench is now even more limited. Like their bench is a lot shallower. I mean, you have Gabe Vincent, Jake LaRavia. That's basically the two offensive guys you have, assuming you put Smart into the starting rotation. Reaves is going to have to log a ton of minutes and probably play that backup point guard spot for the for the second unit as well.
Yeah, I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on Dalton Knecht, right? I mean, this guy, he's a scorer, right? That's what the Lakers drafted him to be. Like, I don't think he's going to start, but he's definitely going to be a lot more needed, right, Nick, to come off the bench and try to help out this unit score a lot of points. We know Luka's going to score. We know Austin's going to score. Honestly, there's a really big opportunity for Rui Hachimura as well, right? We were debating, is he going to start, is he not? Well, he's definitely going to start come opening night. I think that is definitely guaranteed now without LeBron James out there. He'll definitely be starting at the 4. I think this isn't necessarily my opinion. I think it's going to be Jake LaRavia that's going to get the start. I actually think it might be because, again, I don't know exactly how healthy Marcus Smart's going to be. Is he going to be on a pitch count? Is he not? I don't 100% know. Now he would make sense in theory because defensively he might be one of the best on-ball perimeter defenders on this team, and it'd be good to have that vocal leadership.
Best,
but
maybe they need that.
Maybe they need it off the bench now, right? Maybe they need someone to come in and do that for them. And Marcus Smart, we know for a fact, can definitely do that. Jared Vanderbilt has had a really good preseason so far, and people are raving about him in camp, so perhaps he could potentially get that opportunity as well. If I had to guess, though, I think Jake LaRavia is going to get it. The Lakers just paid him this offseason, can kind of slide into that third, that 3 position. And he's shown a little bit of ball handling and playmaking as well. So perhaps that they feel comfortable putting him in there. He's a legit 6'7", 6'8", has really good size. We know he can shoot the 3. Has shown flashes in preseason, but I think playing next to Luka Doncic, which hopefully we'll get to see that soon. Hopefully, I think that can even open up Jake LaRavia's game more. If I had to guess who it's going to be, not even necessarily what I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be Jake LaRavia.
Yeah, and obviously that would provide more normal size and having really put that forward down a lot. So let us know down below what your thoughts are. Some breaking news to keep you up to date every step of the way. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys later.